This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me through this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, LightBlindedFool, the Amyrlin Seat, Green Man, and Kristen Gilreath. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Katie Smith to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really couldn't do this without you. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 25 and 26 of the Path of Daggers.
Yeah, so chapter 25 is an unwelcome return, and chapter 26 is the extra bit.
Aha.
So we have some unpleasant things happening.
I just would prefer, not to talk about things anymore.
I know, you did say that you just want to skip, but we can't.
I feel like some of these things, I'll read it.
Sure.
Cool. And then let's just move on and let me keep reading. It's like, I just want to stop talking about all these things.
It's the circling back and then doing, there's some really cool...
Some good stuff.
Yeah.
I like the good stuff.
And keep in mind, I just
don't like all of this other stuff.
Sure. Keep in mind, this is the end of the book. Like, after this episode, we have 5 chapters, but the last chapter is 1 page. So it's really, we have 4 chapters left.
Okay.
So we're really closing in on the end of this book.
Okay.
So we got to tie up a couple of things, and we got to start, painting a picture for the next book.
Okay.
So, just as a perspective of what we're seeing here.
Yeah, I think that actually at this point, it's less about tying up loose ends and more about creating more loose ends. Going into the next book.
Painting a picture for the next book.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said, we're wrapping things up. No, it doesn't feel that way.
But for this temporary
nope.
pause, and then, we're going to get into the next one. That's okay.
All right. So some good stuff, some kind of dull stuff, and then a few interesting tidbits.
Okay.
That's how I'll summarize these 2 chapters.
Okay.
And I gotta tell you, I'm a little tired. I'm tired from this afternoon.
Yeah, because...
Yeah, I took our son to his first NHL game.
Yes.
And that was fun. Happen. Yeah. It was fun. It was cute.
It was preseason.
It
counts.
It counts, but here's the thing. He's 4, and the tickets were cheaper, and we didn't make it to the end of the game.
No.
So... Yeah.
A lot of snacks were eaten, though.
A lot of snacks. Good, giant popcorn snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start us off with a fun fact, and we'll jump into these chapters.
Sure.
So I figured, since we're inching closer and closer to our White Tower Forsaken, Mesana.
Yeah.
We're getting real close.
Yeah.
Maybe some hints. I kind of want to pick your brain on that one.
Okay.
But I figure we might as well do a little introduction to some real-world inspiration for Mesana.
Okay.
And since we don't know too much we know some, but not a ton, I'm going to stick to just focusing on her name and looking at some origins for the name Mesana.
Mesana. Yeah, somebody requested that we say it like that from now on.
Mesana. So, there are, and from what I could find, 3 major candidates to look at for Mesana. The first one is Marzana. Okay, so Marzana, we've actually mentioned this before. It's Polish for the Slavic goddess associated with the idea of death and rebirth in nature and dreams. And I actually mentioned her in the fun fact in chapter 6 for this book when we talked about the personification of death. But it is interesting that for the Marzana goddess, there's a tradition where you burn or drown effigies of Marzana to celebrate the end of winter. Not saying, and we didn't see any drowning or burning of Mesana.
No.
But just a neat little tidbit there. Now, some scholars compare Marzana to the next candidate, which is Hecate, I think it's pronounced, which is an ancient Greek goddess who is often shown holding snakes.
What does that have to do with...
Snakes. For snaking, the White Tower, snakes are pretty central.
No, that's a stretch. Okay.
Okay, well, she's also associated with crossroads, night magic, witchcraft, knowledge of herbs and poisonous plants, graves, ghosts, necromancy, and sorcery.
I still...
That's a lot.
Don't think that the majority of those things equals Marana. Is that her name? Wait, what's her name? Mesana. I don't even know her name.
The first one was Marzana, and then comparable to Hecate. And then the last one for Mesana is Manasa, not Mesana, which is actually a Hindu goddess who is the goddess of snakes again.
Okay.
So the myths emphasize her bad temper and unhappiness.
Okay.
Pretty close.
Maybe, sure.
Also, she's sometimes depicted as being kind to her devotees and harsh with the people who refuse to worship her. And the interesting note for Manasa was that Manasa was denied full godhood by her mixed parentage, and her aim was to fully establish her authority as a goddess and to acquire steadfast human devotees. So, that's an interesting comparison to
that one. Mesana. I could say is probably the closest.
It's comparable in the story because Mesana was a teacher, but apparently she wasn't smart enough to research at the Kolam Dan.
Yeah.
So they were like, you can be a teacher.
Those who can't do.
Yeah, shots fired. But that's the whole thing there. So got a couple of possibilities, one to run by you.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Interesting. Well, last time we were here, Rand fought the Shanshan, and it feels like no one won.
Because he also fought his own guys.
From what we can tell, yeah.
Yeah. Did a little bit of...
But it also feels like the Damani also fought their own guys.
Yeah, that's true.
There's something funky going on.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Don't use channeling around Amudar.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we're leaving off over there.
Yeah.
Now, the last time we were with Elida, it was basically when Alvearen was taking control of the entire situation.
Yeah.
All right. Now, it's interesting. So we're going to jump into chapter 25, An Unwelcome Return. And we have the chapter symbol of the black and white face, dark friends.
Yeah,
Makes
exactly.
sense. Alvearen. But now we're jumping into an Elida perspective where she's kind of in control and feeling kind of good about herself right now.
Yeah, and we find out why.
Which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, which makes sense. Like, after you get through the chapter, like, okay, it makes sense why she's feeling good about herself.
Yeah, well, until she's abruptly not.
Yeah,
right?
It's an unwelcome return.
Right?
Yeah.
That's Alvearen.
Alvearen is that, yeah. She had 2 weeks off, and now it's back to being controlled.
The worst. Just the worst.
Yeah.
Okay. So now Elida is at her table listening to the 6 sitters standing on the other side of her desk, and she's thinking her super arrogant thoughts about how the tower will be returning to its former glory and how it's in the capable hands of her, Elida. And so now this reminds me of one of the first times that we saw her in the tower as Amyrlin, where she was like being contemptuous of everybody and thinking she was better than everyone. Yeah.
We've also gotten this like progression with the chairs situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they started off like a bunch of chairs or whatever, and then like less chairs. Stools or something, and now it's just everyone's standing. So.
Now, we get that the sisters are having discussions about the rumors of things that are going on in the world, and the first topic is the Shanshan.
Yeah, I love these perspectives because you get to see just what people think about events that we know are or are not true.
Right,
Puts it into a good perspective for us, the reader.
It's kind of fun when we have more knowledge than they do.
Yeah, and you're like,
haha, idiots.
Yeah, how do they not know? What a bunch of morons.
Yeah. Okay, so now one of the white sisters here, the white sitter...
Yeah,
they're all
the
sitters,
white.
Right?
Yeah, there's one from each pretty much.
Okay, so the white sitter has used her awesome logic skills.
Yes, really super awesome logic
to
skills.
deduce that since they've never discovered any terangrial that can control a woman's channeling, plus no one has ever found 2 angrial that basically even do the same thing.
Yeah.
Then it's logical to deduce that these women on leashes clearly can't even channel.
Yeah.
If that rumor's even true.
It's fake.
It's a fake rumor.
Okay. Okay. So that's bad.
Yes.
That's bad that they think that it's just like totally not true.
Well, no. This one woman thinks it's totally not true. Because then somebody else right away is like, that logic doesn't really pan out.
Yeah, well.
Because sometimes a bunch of stuff happens that we think we know, and then it proves us completely wrong.
And then doesn't she concede, though? She's like, well, if there is, then there's probably like only 2 or 3. I mean, it's the same issue with the Black Tower.
Well, she also says that no one's ever going to even learn how to make a terangrial.
Yeah,
and
that's what Elida...
specifically that Elaine is doing just that.
Doing it right now. Yeah. Elida has that thought, I'm pretty sure, so...
Yeah. All right, now, at least they are admitting that the Seanchan probably do hold Ebudar and Amador, but they also think that it's probably Rand al'Thor's doing.
Yes, because also the Prophet is totally his guy, and it's like a plot or whatever.
Something.
Yeah.
Something. And now also in their arguments, it comes out that they all know about forkroot tea.
Yep.
Exists to affect a woman who can channel.
Yep.
But it's really freaking a lot of the sisters out, and Elida wonders how they'll take it once they find out about the Asherman who know how to travel.
Yeah, it's like, you think that's bad news? Well, listen to this bad news.
Yeah, how does Elida know that?
Well, that's a good question.
Oh, her report from the woman who was at Dumai's Wells.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Probably.
Yeah,
because
that would make
some woman
sense.
did come in, and it wasn't Gleena. So now all the sitters are being super snippy with each other, and they want to focus on what they know for sure is true, and that is that the rebels, which is Egwene and that crew, are caught in the snow for the winter in Mirandi.
That's bad.
So they don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
For months and months and months.
Yeah, they're thinking, oh, we're going to, like, harry them over the winter, and then by springtime they'll be begging to come back.
Oh, yeah, because it's going to suck.
So that's going to be an interesting thing to find out, I guess.
You mean in, like, less than a month from now when they're just, like, showing up?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a couple
That'll
weeks.
be great. I can't wait.
I can't wait. It's good.
So, Tyr can be dealt with once they find High Lord Darlin, who's disappeared.
Yeah, well, we saw him last time.
Well, we saw him disappearing.
Yeah, I mean, sort of, yeah.
We saw him running off.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Fair.
Yeah, he was running off.
Yeah.
Yep. Him and...
Caroline
and Toram.
Yeah, who's also... They're all missing.
They're all missing.
So, okay.
So, whatever. We'll deal with Tyr and Kyrian when we find those people. But
who are now missing.
Good luck. Okay.
Yeah. They were all in the forest when Rand got the mist and Pat and Finn. Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were with Rand.
Yeah.
Injured.
Yep.
And Cadsuane riding into Kyrian. And they conveniently took off somewhere.
Yes.
Or somebody escorted them somewhere.
Yeah. To be fair, Toram left in the forest. He ran off.
Oh, he
was
was
like, dragon.
Oh,
Rand, terrible, whatever. Yeah.
Because it was Toram who was trying to
kill Rand.
Yeah. In the sword fight.
In the fake fight duel.
Yeah.
Being a huge jerk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. T's being a giant D.
Yeah.
So now they also know that Rand has the crown of Ilion for now.
Yes.
But they're already working on that.
They're working on that one. Yeah. They're going to get it back, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Now, while they're all bickering with each other, Elida steps in to remind them all that the business of the Ajahs is important, but the orders that she has just given are much more important. So we got to get to that stuff first.
Yep. Or else.
Or else they're going to have to go to the Mistress of Novices for penances.
Yeah, and apparently that's already happened. So 2 sitters have already been stripped of their chairs, and at least 6 have served days of labor for penance. So apparently Elida's like ramping that up. Well, she's been we know she's been back in power for like 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So she's probably doing a lot more.
Trying to assert a little more of her dominance?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so once all of that is done, the sitters are dismissed and they all head for the door, but then Alvearen shows up in the doorway.
Yes, this is the unwelcome return.
It is.
Yeah.
Elida can feel her smile start sliding off her face because apparently Alvearen has been gone for almost 2 weeks, didn't tell anyone where she was going, what she was doing, and Elida was starting to hope that she was actually just dead and gone forever.
Yeah, like way too soon to be hoping that, Elida. Yeah. Like way too soon.
Yes.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's not that long of a time.
No. She was being very optimistic.
Really way too optimistic.
Yeah, and now all of the women who are on their way out the door have to stop because Alvearen doesn't move out of their way, and they have to like shuffle out of her way, and it's like power move. Alvearen tells them all to just leave. Yeah,
well, this is an interesting thing though, because Alvearen doesn't have the power as the keeper to tell sitters what to do.
Right.
But we have one of them who like flinches when she looks at her. Which is Valina the White.
Ooh.
So.
Valina.
Yeah.
Okay. I am not going to remember that.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. Alvearen snatches whatever orders Elida thought she was about to be giving away.
She does, yeah.
And she says, the mother likes to consider her decrees carefully. And, this wouldn't be the first time she's changed her mind after signing them. So I'm just going to take these.
Yeah, I'm going to look over that once more. Just make sure Elida's on the, the right path here.
Right. And so they leave. Alvearen starts flipping through all the orders, and Elida thinks about how Cian hasn't found anything yet to help get rid of Alvearen.
Yeah, that's the secret convoluted mission for the hunt for the Black Ajah.
That's right.
That was like maybe or maybe not exactly what, Elida wanted.
Yeah.
She was kind of just hinting, like, find something on Alvearen.
Yes.
Super secret.
She implied that she thought Alvearen was Black Ajah.
She did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Heavily. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
But, like, also kind of subtly. Like, a little bit subtly for Elida, I think.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just, like, right out there in the open.
I thought it was pretty out there. I thought that was exactly what she was asking, and Cian picked that up.
Yeah, okay.
Because in the next perspective, we see exactly what the mission is.
Yeah. Well, Cian had to go through the whole thing, like, oh, what is she really talking about? And then, like, it dawns on her, oh my god. And then she goes and recruits Kavara, so.
Well, because she's white and had to think about it logically.
Yeah, okay. We're mostly agreeing. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're good.
All right. Anyway, so Alvearen starts throwing out a bunch of the orders that Elida had tried to sneak through, and then she, like, slaps Elida in the face, and it's like, I thought we were past this.
This is going bad for Elida.
Yeah, oh yeah. And Elida thinks about all the things that Alvearen knows that would be disastrous for everyone to find out, like the kidnapping Rand thing, and the group sent to the Black Tower thing.
Yeah.
And then she thinks
there's a few things.
Yeah, well, she also thinks about the prophecies that Alvearen heard, or the one prophecy, right, that she had.
Yeah.
And
like,
she
Elida's
thinks
had a
that
couple.
she's going to win the Black Tower thing, and she'll rule the White Tower.
Yeah.
And Rand will be feeling her anger or
Yeah, because there's the one where it's like, oh, the Dragon Reborn will shudder at the anger of the Amyrlin seed or whatever.
Yeah, and I was like, maybe it's Egwene.
Exactly, though. Like, that's the whole point, is that all of Elida's prophecies, she always misinterprets them. That's kind of her thing.
Yeah.
That she does the best. Is to misinterpret things.
Yeah, because she feels pretty confident about this one.
Yeah, but, like, that's why she's not really doing more about the Alvearen thing, is because she does feel like at some point it's going to play out in her favor.
Yes,
so
that's true, too.
It's kind of like justification
it's
for
like
her.
super blackmail.
It is. But she ultimately, she thinks everything's going to be good for her.
Yeah.
And okay, let's roll with that.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes.
It's not a total lost cause yet, right?
No, and I mean, it could go well for Elida for a moment.
Yeah.
Like, if we're able to get rid of Alvearen in some way.
That's very true.
Yeah,
maybe.
Okay. So Alvearen pushes a piece of paper in front of Elida, tells her to sign it, and it's an order that says, Rand al'Thor is the Dragon Reborn, and men who can channel are all under the authority of the White Tower, so the Dragon Reborn is granted the protection of the Tower, and anyone who tries to approach him except through the official channels of the Tower are going to be charged with treason.
Yes,
So the White Tower will safely guide the dragon to the last battle and victory.
Yeah, so that, there have been crazy orders so far, in her mind, like in Elida's mind and thought process, like the increase of the Tower Guard, because she was like, oh, why do we even need to do that? Which, in all reality, is a good idea, because Egwene's coming. Like, that's going to happen. But the big thing that it seems like Alvearen's been pushing orders through on is making the Ajahs, like, hate each other by trying to out the heads of each Ajah.
Yes.
And then giving people the final authority of the quarter that they're in. So, like, if you're in the green quarter, greens can do whatever they want to you no matter who you are.
Yeah.
So it's just, like, huge rifts in the tower already.
Yeah.
So this one is going to be especially bad, because then it's going to be impossible for the White Tower to, like, deflect the kidnapping thing and be like, that wasn't sanctioned, that wasn't us.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh no, that was us.
Yeah, well, and I guess the point is that, like, nobody, like, in Andor, for example, can try to, like, kill the Dragon Reborn or something without facing...
Yeah.
Because obviously they don't, whoever, is telling Alvearen to give this order...
Yeah. Well, it also automatically...
want Rand dead.
It automatically paints all the rebels, like, with treason because they're approaching Rand.
Yeah.
Like, automatically, they're all treasonous. So that's bad, too.
Yeah.
There's a few angles to look at.
Mm-hmm. So now we do get Elida trying to push back on this slightly, but then basically Alvearen just makes her repeat over and over, I'll do exactly what I'm told, I won't say anything you haven't told me to do, I'll sign anything you tell me to sign, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it doesn't go well for Elida. She has, like, zero power here.
Zero. And Alvearen makes a few comments about leaving Elida alone for too long, and then says, I want to talk to you later. Be here when I return. And then she leaves.
Yeah.
And Elida tries to say later, when? But right now, she's basically confined to her rooms to wait for Alvearen to get back.
Yeah. Like, really seeing the exercise of power here that Alvearen does have.
Yes.
Like, it is, yeah, it's
ultimate. It's the ultimate.
It is. It's
power.
The ultimate power. You wait here until I'm back.
So Elida sits for a while and thinks about stuff, including considering, she could kill Alvearen, but she's pretty sure Alvearen has taken precautions to have documents revealed in case something happens to her.
Yeah, dead man switch.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so now at this point, Elida hears someone behind her, and it is the Mistress of Novices.
Yeah, here for the penance.
And she says, the keeper said you wanted to speak to me about a private penance. And then basically, Elida is left lying face down, crying into her pillows, and her butt hurts.
Yeah, well, she gets like a half an hour of beating.
Yeah.
Based on what Alvearen told Sylviana to do, so.
Yeah.
We do have a spelling
mistake,
crazy. Though. Yeah. There was a spelling mistake.
A spelling mistake?
Or like an omitted word, because the sentence in my book says, the keeper said you wanted to speak me. Instead of to speak to me.
Oh.
Which is interesting.
That's a little funny.
Little catch.
Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be.
Nope. Good try.
You wanted to speak me?
Yep. Nope. That's not it. That's for
Why
sure not it.
say lot word? When few words do trick.
Right? Oh, man. Okay. So that was just basically like bad things happening to a bad person from a bad person.
Yep.
It's not good. Elida's situation is, I will say, for the record, bad.
Bad situation.
It's a bad situation. Not that I like Elida.
No.
But it's worse that
you know what? I like it. I like it all.
But
I
the
like
tower's
everything
in
that's happening
control
here.
of the head of the Black Ajah. Like, Alvearen is the head of the Black Ajah.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned.
Okay.
Should I be more?
I mean, yes, you should be worried when, our big institutions are being run by evil, objectively evil people.
The thing that I actually really like about this, in my mind, the worse the tower is sort of fractured, the easier it'll be for the rebels to come swoop in,
okay,
because nobody will be on the same page there.
Yeah.
And the problem is Egwene's group also has all these fractures.
That's true too.
With Ramonda and Lelaine, and they're not all.
They're not one.
No, it would be better if they were all one.
Yeah.
Kind of unit. And
but for sure, nobody likes Elida, so that's a good thing, right?
For sure, nobody likes Elida.
Yeah.
And for sure, not everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
Which will be easier to infiltrate in the long run if they're not a solid force.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So now at this point we have a perspective change to Alvearen, as is tradition.
Yeah, it's a quick one. I like the back and forth.
This is another set of people who constantly always have an immediate next perspective.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I was going to start tracking it with Perrin and Fail.
Yeah.
That one happens all the time.
And this one definitely happens.
This one definitely always.
Yeah.
So, Alvearen, as is tradition, Alvearen is kneeling in front of Mesana, who is in the middle of telling her, I didn't tell you to have Elida beaten. Do you rise above yourself?
Yeah, don't be getting too confident.
Yeah. So Alvearen gets down further onto her belly, does a whole bunch of apologizing, but is doing this thing where she's grabbing and kissing Mesana's dress hem.
Yes.
Which is sneaky.
It is pretty sneaky.
Because she sees flickers of bronze silk with black embroidery showing through the border of illusion that Mesana is using.
Yeah, and it is interesting to note, for a note on the mechanics of illusion, and we've seen this before with things like when Lanfear was pretending to be Else.
Yes.
Where it's if you physically get close enough, you can see through the illusion because it's just like a wall, for lack of a better term.
Right.
But it's not it doesn't actually change you physically. It just changes what you look like.
What you look like.
Or what the person's seeing.
Yes.
But yeah.
Okay, so we have that.
Yes.
Now, Mesana asks if the decree went out, and Alvearen says it did. Copies have already been sent out. And then Alvearen asks very carefully, wouldn't it be better if we didn't have to go through Elida anymore?
Yeah, as in, shouldn't I be in charge?
Yes, and that's a no-go for now.
Yeah, not happening. Now, interesting to note, you probably should have been paying way more attention to the clothes that people wear. All those skimming of bronze dresses and such with black hems. Mm-hmm. No, there's not actually anything.
No, I know there's not.
Yeah, oh, you know.
Yeah.
Do you pay attention? You don't pay attention to the clothes.
No.
Okay.
But
did you go back and look through this chapter?
Not even at all. No.
Okay.
But I feel like it would be off for somebody to wear a color that's not of their Ajah. And bronze isn't exactly, unless they're of the brown.
Okay.
That's the only thing I could think. Because it would be weird.
Yeah.
At this point. Because we get it so defined.
Yeah. But I mean, Alvearen's I'm going to keep a lookout for that. So
yes.
Now we got to be on the lookout for that.
Right. But if Mesana is actually out and about in the tower,
she might have more than one set of clothes too.
Yeah.
It's possible. I don't want to.
Chances are she's going to wear her Ajah color that she's pretending to be.
I don't want to go crazy here, but
especially considering all the factions are clearly very defined. They're all wearing their shawls or whatever. Yeah. It would be super weird for a yellow Ajah to just all of a sudden be wearing not yellow, wouldn't it?
Yes. I mean, yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, cool.
It's hard to tell.
Alvearen doing some sleuthing, except it probably doesn't matter.
Confirmation that she looks different than what she might look like other times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Confirmations that's the dress she's wearing right now.
If you find someone, start looking through closets.
And if we are trying to think that Alvearen got away with this without Mesana noticing.
Yep, okay.
Also,
we need a Mesana perspective now to be like, this idiot.
This idiot totally saw my dress. She's trying to figure out who I am.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, okay. So Mesana gives Alvearen a task to work on because even though there are some serious walls going up between all the Ajahs right now, and Mesana, I haven't been doing that, sorry, says it's a shame that Galena got herself killed.
Yeah. Yep.
Because she could explain some of this to Alvearen.
Mm-hmm.
But now, is that just something to say to Alvearen right now?
That's possible.
Do they think that she's dead, but she's actually kidnapped?
Is she dead since the last time we saw her?
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, you want her dead.
Yeah.
You don't want her to remain with, what is it, Thorava now?
Thorava / Savannah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool if she was just dead.
Okay.
It doesn't matter to me if Ryan gets his revenge anymore.
Oh, yeah.
He's too crazy for that.
Yeah. And would he? Because it's a woman.
At this point, yeah.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Tough to say.
Yeah, it would be nice if it was just outright actually what is on the page, but so often it's just not.
Yeah.
So
okay.
We'll just keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Now, apparently the heads of all the Ajahs, except for the Reds, are having too many, quote, accidental meetings. They're all meeting around with each other. And Mesana wants to know what that's all about. And so Alvearen says she'll get on it, and she files away the tidbit of information about her dress. Mm-hmm. And also that Mesana doesn't know everything that's happening in the tower.
Yeah, she's not, all-knowing. And that was something that was, a realization for some of the Black Ajah. Yeah. Is they're not all-knowing and all-powerful. They're just, smarter or more knowledgeable people. So
yeah, we can
overthrow them. We can have a new person stepping in.
We certainly can.
Alvearen can be that person.
Oh, for sure, Alvearen. No worries.
Just like Leandrin could be the new Mogedian.
Tried.
So close. Almost had it.
Nope.
Super close. Dang
okay. It. Shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the end of this chapter, so let's take a quick break, and then we'll jump into
the next one. Yeah.
Chapter 26. Okay, so we're back with chapter 26.
Yes.
The extra bit.
Mm-hmm.
I could have also done without the extra bit.
You know what? There's a couple people this chapter who think that they could do without the extra bit.
Okay, so the chapter symbol is the dragon's fang,
okay,
which is cool for the male half of the power, right? That's less dark friendly than it has been in the past.
Well, you've been flip-floppy on that whole thing, because last time I think we got a Dragon's Fang, you're like, ooh, why is it, Dragon's Fang? Because,
dark friends
and stuff, but now this time you're like, not?
Male half.
Okay. That's just because it's low game.
That's clear what this is.
Okay, whatever. Yeah. That's fine.
Oh, you just spoiled it.
Oh, no. Well, I hope people are aware of that. So
yeah, we're literally covering this chapter.
Come on, guys.
If you haven't read this chapter.
What are we doing here?
Yeah. Okay, so we enter in a Cian perspective.
Yes, that's some good pronunciation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
audiobook.
I struggle with these ones.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sian.
Yeah.
Now, she's heading through the halls of the White Tower, and this is the one who Elida went to.
Yes.
And then she went to
Pavara. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
who's a red.
Who's a red
yeah.
because her family was killed by Dark Friends.
Yes. Right? And that's also why Sian's like, yeah, she's the one, she's good. So we actually, like, I kind of like Pavara.
As far as reds go.
Yeah, like she's not the worst red we've met. I kind of like her.
Okay. I don't really know if I like anybody here because I don't know anybody.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know anybody at all.
Yeah. No, like I can,
Do we really love compelling people with the Oath Rod? Is that something we like?
You were the one, you kind of like defended Egwene doing it, so, I
like Egwene more than I like these two.
That so doesn't matter? It doesn't
yes, because, that's how this works.
Okay, we can talk we can talk about that after. Once we get there. Let's get there.
All right. So now, Sian has been wandering around for almost hours now.
Yeah.
Most sisters have been keeping to their own Ajahs, walking around in pairs.
Yeah, all the new rules.
All the stuff. And so Sian thinks about not being able to bring in more sisters on their search on account of being super cautious.
Yeah.
And then we get a whole bunch of thoughts on all the sisters who are acting like jerks towards everyone else, which is not totally unexpected, but there's, been quite a few incidents because of all of Elida's new decrees.
Yeah.
And now the tower's all divided up, which we talked about last chapter.
And we get to see that from, like, a perspective of someone who also feels like everything's divided.
Who's just, like, wandering around in the tower.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's working. It's working.
Okay. Is Sian a sitter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's relevant for what happens next.
Yeah, okay. So finally, she's looking around. People are giving her cold shoulders, like quite literally. Things aren't going that well. And then she finds a sister named Zara, who is young and inexperienced because she hasn't worn the shawl 50 years yet.
Yeah, it's just a fun for comparison thing.
I feel like my new favorite thing that I've come to realize about this entire series is the fact that all of these Aes Sedai consider like 70 to 80-year-old women as young and inexperienced. And then a bunch of 18-year-olds literally roll in and take control of everything.
Which, I mean, kind of explains why they feel the way they do.
So much. Yeah. They're like, you literally are an infant.
Yeah.
If you think like an 80-year-old is new and inexperienced.
And shouldn't be like, giving you any pushback on anything you do.
Yeah.
Including the next series of events.
And the fact that they can't manipulate Egwene, some literal child in their eyes.
Like, what is happening here?
In the way that they think that they should be able to, just must be wild.
Yeah.
That
game changers.
Is just wild. Yeah. I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And I mean, it kind of makes sense if Aes Sedai live like 250 years. 300 is like super old currently, so.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
All
makes sense.
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
So Zara doesn't move to avoid her. Finally, somebody who doesn't.
And Zara is a white sister, not a sitter.
Okay.
She's a regular white sister.
So she sort of like has to go along with what's
going on? Yeah, because Sian is like one of the sitters from her own Ajah, so there's like that the respect there for your own Ajah.
Okay. So now Sian says, I need you for something, come with me. And then right away, Zara goes along with it without questioning, and they head down through the tower, and then Sian opens a door that leads to a narrow set of stairs that spiral down into the darkness.
Yeah, because they're like up in the tower, and then they get down to the ground floor, and then they just keep going down, and then like keep going down, and then keep going down, all the spooky tunnels.
Yes.
And Zara's still not like asking any questions.
No.
Because logically, she shouldn't have anything to fear from
a white sitter.
Yeah.
They're all very logical.
Yeah.
So they keep heading down to like one of the very lowest levels that probably haven't even seen people.
Yeah.
In a very long time, even lower than where the accepted are tested.
Mm-hmm.
So now Zara finally asks, like, what are we doing down here? And then Sian leads her to a room that has Pavara sitting inside in the dark.
Yep.
Behind a table.
Yep.
She's a bit grumpy for having to wait so long.
Yeah. So Pavara, for the record, is a red sitter as well.
Okay.
Sitters are like, in the hall.
All right. So they tell Zara, we want to ask you a few questions. And then they shield her, and Siain shuts the door.
Yeah, it's like super spooky. You just got let down to the basement.
Is trying her best to remain calm and is like, about what, sitters?
Yeah, for the record, freak out before you get shielded in the dark murder basement.
Yes.
Like, before you get led there, you start asking questions.
Yeah, so Pavara answers, the Black Ajah, we want to know whether you're a dark friend.
Okay.
And then Zara blows up at the accusation, how dare you? You can't accuse me of this. And then she accuses the Reds of being a bunch of Black Sisters for setting up false dragons for years.
Yeah, and Pavara, obviously being a Red Sitter, really doesn't like that very much, so...
And now Siain tries to diffuse the situation a bit before things get out of hand, tells Zara to sit down, and then Pavara takes out the oath rod and puts it on the table.
Boom, let's do this.
And she says, we want to make sure you're telling the truth, so you'll swear on the oath rod, and then I'll ask again. And Siain has to say, like, logically, Black Ajah probably forsake the oath that they can lie.
Yeah.
In some way.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so we need you to do it again.
Yeah. And we get at, like, near the end of this perspective that the reason why they're looking for this sister specifically is because they think that they have caught her in a lie. Already. Yes. So that's why they brought her down initially, because Siain and Pavara were trying to be, like, uber careful.
They want to catch someone in a lie.
They don't want to just bring down a rando.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Zara doesn't think that she should be subjected to this, but she says that she will re-swear all the oaths if that's what it takes, and then she demands an apology afterwards.
Yeah, so that's a good start, too.
Yeah.
Like, in all things considered.
It's not like a hard no.
Yeah, I'm not doing this.
Like the next chick.
Yeah, don't talk about that.
We'll get to that.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay.
I'm leaving. I am, of course not.
You know what? And we don't actually get any kind of confirmation on that situation.
Yeah, I think we get some pretty good confirmation.
Yeah, it's not like 100%.
I think it's pretty good.
It's not an on-screen death or anything like that.
No.
So I'm just saying, if you didn't see them die.
Wouldn't be. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Now, Pavara tells Zara, I'm trying to get these names.
Isn't it Zara?
Zara, I don't know. That she's going to swear on the oath rod to obey the two of them.
Yeah, specifically.
And then they'll release it after.
Yeah, so the whole thing is they're not getting her to re-swear the oaths, like, that's going to happen, but the more important is that you're going to obey us.
Yeah.
That's the really important one. So then, if she gives the right answer, being like, no, I'm not a dark friend, then they can release her, but if she is, then they can use her to help catch more.
Yes.
So that's kind of like the whole plan that they have. Which, again, it's not a terrible plan with Siain and Pavara. It's just that,
like, it's a touch morally ambiguous.
I mean, and sure, and the whole thing is it'd be less morally ambiguous if they actually did what they said they were going to do, which is release her after she gives the right answer.
Yeah, which they don't.
Which is why the whole, like, very slippery slope of making people swear to you.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you had the chance to follow through, you didn't.
No, exactly.
Yeah, it's a real big problem. So, anyways.
Okay, and then plus we get that whole, like, big spiel about how, now we know we can release people using this, and then we can just swear it again. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's a bunch of confirmation of stuff that, like, we kind of figured out and knew, but now we know that they know it. So, it's cool. We're on the same page.
Yeah, because we do get a whole story of how Siain and Pavara did a bunch of tests on removing the oaths, and turns out it hurts a little.
They had a bunch of fun telling a couple
and it
lies.
Hurts.
Yeah. The moon's made of cheese or whatever.
Yeah, and they're like, it was exhilarating.
Which, I mean, it would be if you never did.
The sky is green or something like.
It's a simple question, Doctor.
Yeah. Would you eat the moon if it was made of ribs? Okay. Zara is like, this is stupid, and sounds disgusted that they remove their oaths, even if it was just as a test.
Yeah.
And then Pavara's like, whatever, we took them again right after.
We did it.
And then she, like, picks it up, channels into it, and is like, I'm not a dark friend, and also I'm not gonna lie, like, whatever.
Yeah, they redo all the oaths, and
they
then they
redo
say,
all of it.
You know, I'm gonna give them points for doing it first to prove to Zara that they are also not dark friends.
Yeah,
like, we're asking you to do it.
We're not.
Yeah.
Now, you say you're not too.
Yeah.
Plus the oath about
obeying us.
us.
Which, again, very problematic immediately.
Yes. But when Siain re-swears her oaths and says she's not a Black Ajah, we get the confirmation of the oath rod making her skin feel tight.
Yes.
And so I don't know if that was ever, it probably was, but somewhere said, but now we get it again.
Yeah, double confirmation in case you forgot.
Yeah, which is probably the ageless thing, right? When your skin pulls tight.
That's what it is.
It's a facelift.
Yes, the original facelift.
All right, so now they hand Zara the oath rod. There's a bit of a tense moment, but she swears to obey them, and I was thinking, don't do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want Zara to do it?
No.
Oh.
Like, I do want to know. Are you a dark friend? No, I do want to know.
That's what a dark friend would say and do.
It's just the whole, swearing to obey them thing.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not even necessary at this point.
Like, it's a backup plan because then if she, lashes out or, then what do we do?
I understand for them that it's the backup plan, but, I don't know. I still feel like you can't really be doing this to everybody.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Even if so she swears, I'm not a dark friend.
Yeah.
First, I won't tell a lie, and then I'm not a dark friend.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Yeah.
But I guess if she's peeved about this whole situation, she can just go spill the beans to everybody.
Yeah. There's reasons. But
they don't expressly say don't tell anyone, do they?
No, but it's obey us, and then, it'll come up later. We don't really see the conclusion of their plan for what they were going to do, because it gets derailed by the little lie that they think they found.
Well, no. Okay. That's true. It does get... Okay.
Yeah, their entire thing gets derailed by the fact that they thought they caught her in a lie, but then she's like, no, I'm not a dark friend, so they're thinking well, we think we caught you in a lie.
Yeah, they're like, hey, wait a minute, it's the only lie we found in weeks of searching, so tell us, how you lied.
Yeah, you lied.
People you came from the north.
Yeah.
But we found traces of some plant life on your saddle cloth that comes from the south.
How did that happen?
Tell us.
Yeah, because, technically, if she would swoop around so that she could come from the north, that makes sense why I said I would do that, because you can't lie and you want to, hide where you're coming from. That all makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's why the plan gets derailed, because now they're confused, we thought we caught a lie, and then how did this all come about?
Yeah. Okay, but at this point, they're obviously not going to release her from the obeying thing.
Yeah, and this is
and then they're like, okay, no, hold on, though. Why did you go all the way up to come down so that you could actually, what were you doing? Where did you actually come from? So change the question,
not where did you originate from? Where did you originally come from?
Yeah. Yeah, and then so she spills the beans.
Yeah,
she's from Saladar. She's a ferret.
She's one of the ferrets.
Yes. So she's from Saladar. She was sent here to make sure all the sisters know about the Reds and Loghain so that they'll depose Elida and the tower can be whole again.
Yeah, so again, that's really bad because now the Saladar ferrets are exposed immediately.
Yeah.
All of them. It's all out.
How many? Tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me all of them.
Again, more problematic because, you said, if you answered not a dark friend, we're going to release you. And now all of a sudden it's but these are rebels. So they're bad people.
We have to try them.
So,
Yes.
And it's okay that we have now made her swear another oath. It's not good.
No.
It's not good.
And this isn't even the worst of it this chapter. So, now, Pavara tells her that she's going to have to stand before the hall and tell everyone that it's a lie. And she says, admit the lie.
Keep in mind, she's a red, and she's really pissed at these rumors about reds.
And so she's not thinking logically here.
No.
Because obviously Zara wouldn't have been able to share this information if she thought it was a lie.
Yeah.
In the first place.
Yeah.
So just yelling at her, admit the lie, it's like she's caught in this, this lie-truth paradox.
Yeah.
Because she believes it to be true, so she can't say it's a lie, because that would be a lie.
Beep, boop, and then boom, her head explodes.
Or no, she just suffocates.
She suffocates to death because she can't do anything now, so.
She can't say words. And now Pavara has to release her from this order to tell the lie, admit it's a lie.
Yeah. It's like, hey guys, we're going to have to be more careful about this one.
Yeah. Well, then because Cian starts thinking, maybe what we're going to have to do next time is get them to forsake all their oaths first, and then...
How do we switch this up?
Yeah, because they're like, oh, we don't know what other oaths maybe actual dark friends have taken.
Yeah, but that's good too, because she's figuring out, hey, they probably take alternate oaths.
But she's also starting to think that this is getting dangerously close to the forbidden compulsion weave.
And it's maybe the exact same thing, if not maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, is it worse?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's the same.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, it's not good. So now at this point, they're like, okay, how many others came? Zara says 10. She really doesn't want to betray her sisters, but she has no choice. And then Pevra gets her to name all of them, and she immediately says them all.
She has to.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has to. Like, there's no choice here.
And then Pevra tells her that
Pevara.
What did I say?
Pevra.
Whatever.
And you said like Pevy or something.
It doesn't matter. Everyone knows. Whatever. Anyway, it's the white Ajah rebel Bernail, who we've heard of.
Yeah, she was in
Celadar.
Yeah, she's one of the affairs. So she's here, and she's the next one.
Yeah.
Go get the next one. Go get her,
but you're not allowed to give her any other warning. But right now, like, the idea isn't to chase down all the rebels.
Well, now it is.
The idea is to find the Black Ajah.
But here's the thing. Now it is. Now the plan has changed. And that's, again, why it's, like, really terrible that this terrible slippery slope of we were doing this to find, like, objectively evil people. And that's the hard part about the series and the whole moral stuff is because there's, like, objectively evil people doing evil things sworn to the Dark One.
Yeah, well, and there's lots of instances of Cian thinking that she also doesn't even really like Elida or what Elida did.
Yeah.
But at least she stayed in the tower.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, guys.
I mean, that's what kind of Moraine thought, too, in a lot of ways.
Well,
like,
Moraine
she's like,
wasn't there.
I can forgive a lot of stuff.
I think that Moraine would have not stayed.
Yeah, well, she's not here, so... Oh, man, okay. Anyways, that's why this... Yeah, so is it a new game plan on what they're doing?
Yeah.
Or are they just going to, like, round up the rebels and maybe
also
catch
Zara
some...
isn't allowed to spread the stories about the Red Ajah and the false dragons anymore.
Right, so now we're, like, overreaching on this whole, like, okay...
Yeah.
The obeying thing.
And also, it feels as though not every Red Ajah is in on this.
Sure.
Because for her to yell about how it's a lie...
Yeah.
And she literally just said that she is going to speak the truth.
Yeah.
You know, she feels it's a complete lie, this false dragon business.
Yeah.
But I kind of believe that it kind of happened.
Yeah, I mean, that's
like other Reds probably did.
There's a whole lot of Red Sisters, and not everyone's in the same group of knowledge of what's happening.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Okay, so now at this point, Pevara.
Yep.
Dismisses Zara.
To go get Bernail.
Yeah, that one's not as
Bernali.
bad. Yeah.
Bernila? Maybe.
I don't know.
Who's to say?
Okay, and once she's gone, Pevara and Cian talk about how these are rebels and they must be dealt with, but anyway, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing.
Okay.
They're interrupted, and this is the good part.
They are, yes. Oh, it's so good. It's so interesting.
So suddenly, 4 other Aes Sedai walk into the room, and it's so funny because on their way down to this place, I was like, are they being followed? Like, it felt as though they shouldn't just be wandering to the depths of the tower thinking that they're not going to be unnoticed. Yep. Yeah.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Yeah.
But they were. And they got followed. It felt
suspicious. Okay, so 4 just walk into the room, and then Cian grabs the oath rod off the desk and tries to hide it in her lap.
Doesn't do a good job.
No. And then the 4 other sitters...
Yeah, so they're all
from
sitters.
The other Ajahs are here. And
basically, there's a sitter from each Ajah here.
Except Blue. The's no Blues in the tower anymore, right?
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, all the Ajahs that are here. Yeah.
I'm just clarifying.
Yeah, okay. The Blues are not back.
No. Anyway, so there's a standoff with both groups being like, what are you doing down here?
Yeah. It's like, why are you in the murder basement? Why are you in the murder basement?
Now, Cian mentally prepares herself to weave Saidar, but it won't help very much since it's 4-on-2 and she's actually pretty weak. Mm-hmm. So, finally, one of them says, we noticed the 2 of you sneaking around, and we want to know why. Did the heads of your Ajahs set you on a secret task?
Yeah.
The Hall has a right to know.
Yes, because they're all sitters of the Hall. They want to know what all the secret stuff is up. And again, this is all kind of like the whole...
I thought the whole back and forth between who was talking thing was really interesting. Mm-hmm. I didn't really note very many names, but there was one who was like, I don't actually care what they're doing. And I thought that one was going to end up being the Dark Friend.
Yeah.
Like Yukuri or something like that.
Yukuri, yeah.
And it's funny because it wasn't.
It's not,
I was wrong, because the idea that everybody cares about what everyone else is doing is on different levels.
It is.
Because this one Yukuri is like, whatever, you could be pillow friends for all we care, but that's your business.
Yeah.
It's like maybe they're sneaking around to go mess around together.
Yeah, like maybe. And you know what? That's not our
I also love the pillow friends, like actually just like being a thing that they just like talk about in the tower. I think that's so funny.
Yeah.
People try to deny that it exists, Brett.
Oh, I know. I mean, also, like, there are some RJ not-so-hot takes on pillow friends that we can talk about, but it's like, that's we're not worried about that.
I think that in this instance, it's pretty obvious.
No, just like,
they're like, well, that's your business if you're pillow friends.
Yeah, I'm not talking, there's some, it's not important right now. It's fine.
I know, I just wanted to point out that it was here.
For sure.
Okay, so now... Anyway, they all go back and forth a little bit about how the Hall has a right to know what these two are up to.
Right.
And Pevara is like, shove it up your butt. If the head of my Ajah told me anything, there's no reason
if I have a
for
secret
me to
mission,
tell you.
I'm not telling you anything.
Yeah. And then there's a bit of bickering because apparently they don't all want to get caught up in whatever this is, but it's like really hard to not be. Yep. And now, okay, so this name...
Saren, not Ciane.
Not Ciane.
Yeah, Saren is a brown. Which is interesting because she was actually first trained by the Daughters of Silence, which was one of those, like, groups of wilders. There were, like, 2 accepted that tried to form their own tower, and we learned about that in Crown of Swords.
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
It was when we learned about the kin. And they're like, it's the kin, and there's, like, one other group, the Daughters of Silence. They weren't very silent, though.
And how do we know that Saren,
the brown, she was originally trained by the Daughters of Silence?
How do we know that?
They say it.
Who did?
They say it in the chapter.
This here today?
Yeah.
In this chapter?
Yeah. Yeah, because Ciane's trying to be like, oh, why are these 4 sitters down here? What do they have in common? They've all had penances. None of them are nobles. But then she's like going through a list of
because she goes, I enjoy puzzles, and she's trying to like figure it out.
So the brown enjoys puzzles. It's not that important, but
the whole Sisters of Silence thing, I did
Daughters of Silence.
Daughters of Silence. I didn't
cool.
pick it up.
It's fine,
even remotely.
We've learned about it twice now, but it's cool.
Nope. I didn't.
Yeah, I know. One day.
If I don't remember it, it's new to me.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a different person. And then they totally saw the oath rod.
Oh, yeah. She takes a step forward and snatches the oath rod. But then Ciane still holds onto it, but also has, like, most of her skirts lifted up.
Yeah, it's like,
It's like this, like, physical...
What are you doing with this? Yeah, well, and that's the whole, like, what are you doing down here? Are you raising new sisters down here? Like, what's going on? Why do you have this?
Well, and then another one...
Yeah.
The Yukuri is like, whatever they're doing, it's their own business. I don't care.
Yeah, it's like you're allowed... Because that's a thing. We already heard about Pevara and Ciane, like, stealing the oath rod.
Yeah.
But technically, since they're sitters, they're legally allowed to have any Terangreal.
Yeah.
They can have it, but she still felt like, oh, I'm kind of like... smuggling it away.
They also went through no proper channels to get it. And she was like, oh.
But, like, technically they're allowed. So that's why they're, some of the sitters here are like, oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Can we go now?
Yeah. Okay, so now the one who grabbed the oath rod.
Yeah, the brown who likes puzzles.
Saren.
Yeah.
Okay. Waves everyone to be quiet and is like, okay, this is the key to the puzzle. Like,
why would you have the oath rod?
This? Yeah.
Like the oath rod.
Okay.
That's an important one.
And then suddenly she channels into the rod and says, I will speak no word that is not true. I am not a dark friend. And then looks over and says, did I get it?
Did I get the puzzle right? Yeah.
Is that the answer?
That's the puzzle. Yeah. I mean, it is kind of funny, like, her entire approach. Because it just reminds me of, like, Varen talking to Moraine and Swan. She's like, and 20 years ago, I noticed you were acting kind of weird. And now it's like, you found the Dragon Reborn, right? That's what it's about? Did I get the puzzle right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my god, we have to kill Varen.
Yeah.
It's like the same situation.
Oh my gosh.
Freaking Browns and their puzzles.
Yeah. It's similar. Okay. Now, several mentions in this chapter of fingering of sword or dagger hilts.
Okay.
Knife hilts.
Sure.
And then also thumbs stroking the rod.
Yeah.
By the way.
Okay.
That's just in there.
That's why we come here.
For fun. I don't know. Now, Pevara and Ciane both retake their oaths on the rod and say they're not dark friends.
Yeah.
And then Talene is the one who's like, this is ridiculous. There is no Black Ajah.
Yeah.
But then Yuri takes the oath rod because she's the one who also was like, this is dumb. who cares?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like, the entire time she's super flippant about everything.
But then all of a sudden, it gets, like, very real very quickly. And all of a sudden,
she grabs it, she says the oath, she says she's not a dark friend, another one does it, another one does it, and then now Talene.
Yeah, the entire time, she's like, I'm not doing this, I'm not going to do this.
I'm not going to put up with this filthy suggestion.
Yeah.
And now, Saine, no, I lost it. What's her name?
Ciane?
The original Ciane? Yeah, she thinks that she sees something feral in Talene's eyes.
Because she's literally trapped in a friggin' murder basement.
And Talene says, move out of the way, I'm leaving. But Pavara says, I think not.
Considering Pavara's entire family was killed by dark friends.
Yep.
Oh, man.
And the other sitters start nodding.
Whoa. You're the only one who won't do it.
And, yep. Saren starts gripping her knife. Now, I don't think that this ends in her being outright murdered. I think that she will somehow be forced to retake her oaths, and now they're gonna...
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think they're gonna use her like they wanted to use Dark Friends.
Hold on. Let's clarify. I want you to put it on the record. Are you saying officially that Talene is a Black Ajah?
Oh, yeah.
And they just stumbled and accidentally found
100%.
It's not... technically...
Oh.
Technically, it's not actually... we have someone who doesn't want to do this, and there are some problematic things about...
You can stop wasting all your breath and your time.
I'm just saying.
No. Of course, this is what this is.
Just saying.
Of course.
There's the thought process just because you're not saying things doesn't mean that you're automatically guilty.
Not on this side.
Oh, fine. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
But I don't think that they kill her here.
Fair.
No, that's...
Their entire plan was, find Black Ajah and use them to get other Black Ajah.
Although the thing is, they're supposed to have sworn to obey them before...
Yeah. Yep.
But now looking back on it, would that plan have worked with somebody who actually is a Black Ajah? No, they would flip out and try to leave.
Yes. Or attack or something.
Yeah, because they wouldn't agree to obey you.
Yeah.
They wouldn't retake an oath. They wouldn't just sit calmly like what's-her-face Zara already did.
Yeah.
They would react like this chick.
But now this 2-woman wolf pack has become, what? We got 2 and then the 3.
It's nice that they're all
and
sitters so that
Zara.
They do have some power.
Yeah, and so we got a 6-woman wolf pack now.
And we know for sure.
And then we can get 9 others.
Okay, now I hate to say this.
Yeah.
This was somebody's idea, wasn't it? The girls were the original Black Ajah
hunters.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
But no, not in Saladar, but it's the Saladar group.
Okay.
I think they already left, and it was Ramonda and Lelaine.
Yep.
Right before Egwene set out and ended up finding the Camelin merchants, and then also Lan and morale situation.
And Ramonda and Lelaine had this little back and forth
about
tiff.
what they should do.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Lelaine, or one of, I can't remember exactly. One of them was I'm going to do it. And the other one's I'm not going to do it.
Let's all get everybody to swear out loud that they're not dark friends.
And it was a very dramatic thing to talk about because there are problematic things about making people do that.
Yeah.
There are. We've clearly seen there's issues already about making people obey you, and then...
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's really, not great. But it's funny that this is happening, and now it's all right.
This is how we do it.
We got some non-dark... And just because someone's not a Black Ajah doesn't mean, they're not awesome people or whatever.
Sure, okay.
Or not bad people, but not good people. You could be a bad person, like Elida, for example.
And not a Black Ajah.
Not a Black Ajah. Yeah. You still could be a shitty person.
You have to swear. Are you Black Ajah or are you just a dick?
Are you just an asshole?
No, I'm just an asshole, I swear.
Are you just an asshole?
I got arms and legs and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, that's that. That's that. Maybe we found our first Black Ajah, from the good guys' side of point of view.
Oh, yes. We caught one.
Yep.
For sure.
Okay.
And we have some pretty high up people who also are on the team now.
Yeah, a bunch of sitters. That's got to be points for something.
Sure.
Hopefully they can use it.
Okay. I don't know. Cool.
Yeah.
Are you ready to move on?
I am.
Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back with a perspective change.
All
right. Here we go. Tovine Gazal. So Tovine is somebody that we have heard of?
Yeah, we know her. So she's the Red who's heading to the Black Tower. She was leading the White Tower embassy, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Assassin squad.
Right.
To the Black Tower. And this is the one who Alvearen said, we gotta forget about her because tough shit.
Yes.
So yeah, they brought sisters.
It's because it's too late.
Yeah, tower guards. They brought the whole 9 yards here.
Okay, well, here's the thing. So Tovene is riding through the deep snow in Andor, and she's super angry today. She has 4 other Reds with her and 20 of the tower guards.
Yeah.
And now in another day or two, she's going to join up with 9 parties exactly like hers.
Yes, and we have had so many hints of like little parties of sisters heading through Andor for the last like little while here.
Right.
But now they're like basically almost at the Black Tower.
Okay, and they don't have enough people. I just quick math.
Yeah.
It's a basic extrapolation.
Well, they're working on the assumption that there's like 3 or 4 guys who maybe can kind of channel, sort of.
Yeah, because what man in their right mind would want to? Which just drives me crazy every time they say it.
I know.
Okay, so she thinks about how she's going to go down in the histories as the woman who destroyed the Black Tower.
Destroyed the Black Tower.
Okay, now we get a bit of her backstory, which I don't remember knowing. Is this new?
This is all new, but it is interesting because we've heard tidbits related to it.
Okay.
So she used to be a sitter for the Reds, but then Elida called her back from her exile and disgrace to specifically do this mission, to lead it. So she was exiled up until Elida called her back to do this Black Tower takeover. And she was exiled over what was done 20 years ago.
Though it had been necessary and right.
Yes. Regardless of the rumors of the Black Ajah being involved. So it doesn't seem like
she's Black
Ajah, but it's like rumors that the Black Ajah were involved about something 20 years ago. And obviously 20 years ago was when Ren was born, the Aiel War, all that whole stuff.
All that happened. And then we also got a whole bunch of like Amyrlin seat business.
I got some recall stuff to do for you here just to kind of set the stage. And then so she was removed from her sitter's chair because of those events and punished. And she thinks like, oh, I've been on a farm for the last 20 years because that's what happens to Aes Sedai who are exiled. You got to go hoe the cabbages. And in Tovane's eyes, Elida slipped through the cracks uncaught and then
Elida
danced her way to the
Amyrlin.
She was, it seems like Elida was involved, but she got away with all of it. So Tovane's not like, oh, thank you so much, Elida, but she's like, I'm going to use this opportunity.
Yeah, because we know that like 20 years ago, Elida escaped to Andor to work her way up over there.
Yeah, because of the whole prophecy that she had about the royal line of Andor. So a couple things to remember is that we know that during Crown of Swords chapter 19, there was a conversation with Cadsuane, and she specifically asks Morena and Anura if either of them were involved in that vileness right after the war, after the Aiel War. So Morena didn't know what she was talking about, but then Anura looked stunned, and like there's clearly some sort of like vile stuff that happened right after the war. And then we also know from the Crown of Swords backstory of like the Black Ajah being involved in some, but not all, Amyrlin like assassination / deaths.
Right.
So there's
something happened there.
Very suspicious stuff happening. Even Alvearen had wondered at one point if Elida had anything to do with one of the Amyrlins that got like taken down.
Yeah, okay.
Like Alvearen, the head of the Black Ajah, should know, maybe, and she doesn't know everything.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, so a lot of questionable stuff happened.
Okay. But suddenly, a tall man in a black coat with dark hair falling to his shoulders.
Did you have any suspicion?
Oh, yes.
Did you?
As soon as I heard that description.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's been a topic of, like, where is he?
That's the only way Logain has ever been described.
Immediately,
I was like,
yeah,
if this isn't Logain, this is a throw-off.
Okay.
That's immediately, it was my thought, because that's how he's described.
Yeah, I don't pay much attention to, like, haircuts, but unless there's bells.
Specifically Logain, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big fan of Logain, though, so.
I am.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, yeah. So he comes riding out on his horse in front of Tovene and says there's no point in struggling, surrender peacefully and no one will be hurt. And Tovene waits for the other sisters to come up behind her and thinks, ooh,
she's so confident, oh my god.
How convenient that one of these Asher men came to her instead of her having to find them.
Huh.
Nice.
There we
go. And she goes, take him. You should link. He has me shielded.
Yeah.
But, like, how can you so confidently...
Because she's like, oh, we got so many other sisters here. It's not a big deal at all.
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Then more and more men in black coats start appearing. Tovene stops counting at 15, and she isn't even remotely worried, but she is slightly irritated.
Mm-hmm.
Because, obviously, not all these men can channel.
Yeah.
but it seems that the men of the Black Tower have found them here, and that annoys her.
So, and she also thinks all of the men from the Black Tower.
Yeah.
She thinks, like, they're all here to hunt her down. It's like, this is a fraction.
Yes.
And yes, they can all channel if they have a black coat on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, Toveen.
And I mean, I don't like her at all.
No.
So, like, whatever.
I know.
It's just, it's bad.
And now we didn't mention it, but when she tells them, all the other sisters, that they should link, and then realizes nothing is happening, the other women say, I am also shielded.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, what the heck? That doesn't make sense. So she tells the others, she whispers to them, at my command, we will run in every direction, and as soon as you're far enough away, the man will lose his shield.
Yeah, she does think that, like, all men think that they have to be in sight to hold the weave. Which clearly isn't true, because it's just all our preconceived notions of, like, what men know.
Because she's dealt with a few men who can channel before.
Who've, like, figured it out by themselves on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, and then she says, as soon as your shield drops, turn back and come help the guards.
Yeah, yeah.
So she shouts for the guards to attack, and then they all start charging, and she turns and charges off through the trees. And then she hears shouting, take them alive! By order of the Dragon Reborn, harm an Aes Sedai, and you'll answer to me.
Yeah, that was Rand's order. We know that. It's like, don't hurt anybody, or Taim's gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so Toveen makes it a bit of the way away. She thinks it's weird that her shield hasn't dropped yet, because she should be at a distance where that happens.
Yeah.
And then something hits her across the middle, and snatches her out of her saddle, and she hangs there in midair, and she starts feeling the fear of being held with Saidin.
Yeah,
her horse takes off, and she's just left hovering in the air.
Well, and I mean, originally she wasn't worried about being shielded, and then it's like, oh my god, all the sisters are shielded, and now it's like, oh wait, I'm still shielded.
My plan didn't work.
It didn't work, and now what do I do? And it's like, oh my god, it's a guy, it's a crazy guy holding the power.
Yeah.
So there's a whole thing.
He rides up, calls for a few of the others to come his way, and then he lowers her onto his horse to sit, like, sideways in front of him.
Yeah.
On the horse.
Mm-hmm.
And she sees he has a silver sword on one side of his collar and a weird gold creature on the other side.
She doesn't have the word for the dragon pit.
Nope. She shrieks and starts kicking wildly and starts freaking out when she realizes that she's really caught.
She is literally captured.
And the man is, like, trying to calm her down. He's like, I'm not going to, like, just stop. And then he says, my apologies, sister. This is how we learn to do it.
Aha. Okay.
And then he kisses her, and then the chapter ends, and we don't have to talk about anything else that happens here at the end.
Not quite. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So now it's clear, it feels to me as though he just did the, like, bonding thing.
Sure, yeah.
Right? Like, okay, so we'll get into, like, that.
Sure.
But the way he does it, so he kisses her, and then she realizes what's happening, and then there's this description of what Robert Jordan probably assumes a female orgasm to be like.
Oh, I thought it was more about the head vibrating or something like that. Like, she felt her head vibrating?
No.
Okay. Oh, no, that's why it's even worse.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, her head just, like, goes a little bit crazy.
Oh, no.
Right?
No.
Oh, no. No, Robert Jordan. I'm looking back now, so I have to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm totally wrong here.
Yeah.
The head's not even mentioned.
No.
Okay, this is worse.
Yes.
This is worse.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope, I think it's a perfect description.
Yeah, so there's this,
got it spot on. Good job.
Well,
yeah.
No. No. It's okay. So this. Okay. So whatever. So there's a surge of warmth and vibration, and then the glass shatters, and then she screams out, panting, and, like, doesn't even realize. I don't know.
You convinced me. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I get it.
It's similar to the Elaine.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yep.
It's like the same description.
Yeah. Okay. Good catch. I never.
And that makes this worse.
Yeah, it does.
Because he's like, sorry, this is how we learned how to do this.
Sorry, yeah. That's the extra bit?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
Because he says, I could have done without the extra bit, but I suppose it's necessary.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense why he's like, it's not like you're my wife or anything.
Yes.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I just kind of, like, totally blocked that out of my... And considering how much, like, sexual innuendo there is in the entire series.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I don't want to talk about it. It's just...
I think we talked about it enough. That's what's happening.
It's just so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so bad and so...
But I think that's part of the point is that it is so bad. But here's the thing. It is non-consensual, just like bonding someone against their will is non-consensual. It's supposed to be bad, and we're not supposed to like it.
Well, the bonding someone against their will, bonding a man against their will, the Aes Sedai, the majority of them do compare to rape.
I mean, with a huge asterisk, because every single one of them that we've met...
They also think it's bad.
Well, no, they're like, you can't use them, so like, it's not as good as it could have been.
No, but a lot of them do. We've heard it said before.
Yeah.
That comparison is made, and then
There's
here's
zero
somebody
follow-up, though.
being bonded against their will, but also with this like strange sexual component.
Yeah.
And it's not feel good.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's icky. It makes me not. Like, and I like Logain, and this makes me feel bad about Logain, like, about it all.
Well, where did he learn how to do it?
I don't know, because the men who were doing it was so that they could keep track of their wives and stuff.
Well, we also know who taught it. Who taught them how to do all this?
Taim? I thought the men, some of them just figured it out with their wives.
Well, that's how we're taught, so it's like, debatably, it's like, who... I mean, and we don't necessarily know that this is the one that they're using, if it's the exact same. Because we've also got differences in bonding people who can channel versus people who can channel. And we've also got differences in bonding people who are the same or opposite
because this also,
gender.
There is a thing about bonding here, but it also does feel like compulsion.
Yeah.
Because, even if an Aes Sedai specifically tells a warder, don't do this thing, I feel like they can still do it if they want to.
Oh. That's interesting, because it's
they can't?
Not from everything we've seen. Because the entire point of bonding Rand was like, then we can control him.
That's true.
That's the literal point of that.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just thinking of like Moraine and Lan, and Moraine being like, don't ride after us. We can't go into Shadow Logoth. And then like the first thing that
But there's a difference between like using the bond to make him do something versus telling
Rand. Know we can do that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are weird differences here,
because he specifically says here, be calm, don't try to escape, don't attack anyone, don't touch the source unless I give you permission. And then he asks her name, and she tells him.
Yeah.
And then she still doesn't fully recognize what's happening. And then another black coat comes up and says, Light Logain, did you take a second one? The Mahale won't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he likes us taking any. Maybe it won't matter, though. You two seem to be super close buddies.
Not quite.
And Logain says, no?
Yeah.
Not
and
quite.
I mean, yeah. And if you didn't pick up on it beforehand like you did with the whole long hair thing, this is
Logain.
This is the mic drop on the whole, like, oh, it's Logain, oh my god. Because I totally never picked up on the whole hair deal.
Yeah, the hair.
That's not anything I ever really, like, watched or looked for.
Yeah.
So.
Well, because at first I didn't even... Well, I guess he's in a black coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then that puts a timeline on him because, like, we didn't see Logain arrive. We didn't see him, like...
Get his pins. Yeah, he's got his pins.
He's clearly... he's a guy. He's a guy.
He is a guy.
Yeah. And I mean, that's putting a big question mark on your whole, like, is Taim, D-man dread?
Yes.
And then
is
who gets
though?
to be an Ajah man? And then, like,
is
does that
though?
put in question... Well, how do you feel about Logain now? Because he is an Ajah man under Taim.
Yeah.
Is Logain a bad guy? Is Logain...
No.
Okay. You kind of made it seem like you thought that Taim was like only promoting his cronies.
No, he just wanted.
That's what I kind of took it as.
He just wanted his cronies to be the ones who were around Rand.
Gotcha.
Who were
around
Rand.
Yeah.
Okay. Gosh. Okay, and I do just want to point out, I don't remember exactly where it is, but it was somewhere in book 4.
Okay.
When we were talking about Logain and Rand.
Yep.
And just like who's gonna help Rand channel.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. We were having this whole discussion, and I listened back at one point when I was going through like setting stuff up for our ads and everything, and I had mentioned that Logain and Mazrim Taim and Rand were going to all at some point team up.
Yeah, the trifecta.
The trifecta, and I said they were going to be like the three musketeers, the three best friends, and I just thought it was so funny and stupid. And then here, I feel like I get a touch of a gold star.
Where's Rand, though?
Yeah, and we're not three musketeers and whatever, but we're all here working together.
Well, two of them are.
Well, Rand is connected.
Okay, I mean, loosey-goosey on that.
It's loosey.
You get like half of
It's a wild thing.
I mean, they are all under...
loud,
yeah. Absolutely.
Although I guess it's kind of would make sense.
I mean, it's the three big dogs, all part of the Black Tower in some way.
Here we are.
It's pretty big.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
So now Tovina's having a hard time focusing on what's happening here, and she's trying to take in all this new information about Logain being here.
Oh, also for the record, Logain does not agree that he and Taim are best friends.
Oh, yeah. He's like, that's what he says. I said that.
Okay, yeah, because he probably wants him dead, so...
Yeah, he's
or
like
he
wants to be hoeing turnips with the new boys or buried under the field.
Yeah.
If Taim had it his way. So, it's nice that they put on a show that they're, working together.
It's like, nope, not quite.
Or Logain knows how to talk to people.
Ooh.
And he knows how to say things like, no, we're not close. Tell me what you know about him.
Oh, okay,
but maybe they are,
Okay. What do you think?
Not close.
Not close. Okay, that's the gut check, eh?
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, Tovine specifically thinks Logain, the false dragon, but he was gentled and killed.
Mm-hmm.
He's dead. And here he is channeling.
Yep.
And alive.
And here.
So, what the heck's happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, she's trying to figure out what's going on. He's holding her captive, and she's not screaming or trying to strike at him. She doesn't even have the desire to attack him or escape, and she realizes she's not even shielded anymore.
Yeah.
So Tovine says, "What did you do to me?" And Logain just tells her what he did, except in a cryptic way that we don't understand.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't get any, actual confirmation, but yeah.
And then he told her what he did to her.
Yes,
and that's
yeah.
And then she puts her head against his chest and starts crying and thinks she'll make Elida pay for this if Logain ever lets her.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
so are we feeling like it is in fact a bond? Because that's kind of how it's written, or is it more like compulsion?
A little from column A, a little from column B.
Okay, because the implication is kind of like it's like a bond.
Yeah, because you took another one.
Yeah,
you took another.
And that's the question: is or is it like a compulsion? Like I have these two people compelled to work with me.
Why? How many women are they running into? That this is a thing that's happening, and then Logain now just has 2 of them.
Well, we know that there was 50 sisters sent?
Oh, this isn't the first party they ran into, perhaps?
Well, Tovine thinks they're 2 days out, and they'll all meet up.
No, it wasn't 50. There were 4 in her party, and there were 9 exact parties.
Sure.
So 36.
Okay. I feel like the original group was 50 or something. Anyways.
They said something like that, but then we got for sure confirmation.
Of the party breakdown. But here's the thing. So when we're looking at the numbers of that, she thinks that they're a day or 2 and they're going to meet up with the other groups. Yeah. Probably to then attack the Black Tower.
Yeah.
But if they just got caught by, clearly there's groups of the Ajah men who are going out and catching these little parties separately. So yeah, it's probably not the first.
Okay.
So yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
That's how the White Tower's attack on the Black Tower is going. How is your day going?
It'll go down in history.
That's the best attack ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
It went, honestly, better than I thought.
Well, Rand's order was do not kill them.
That's true. Unless they were attacking you.
Unless they attack you.
And I thought that when they were coming in,
yep,
it was going to be perceived as an attack.
Gotcha.
And I thought there was going to be this huge backlash.
Pull some shenanigans ooh, they're attacking us.
They were attacking us. We had to kill them. Yeah. And so this is better.
Is it?
No.
Is it better?
No, well, it's less gruesome. It's not as morbid, but it's also morally terrible.
Yeah.
I would if all of that could stop, I'd be happier reading this book.
Sure. But then it wouldn't be the Wheel of Time, making you question everything.
Gosh.
How do we feel about the characters that we think we like?
It wouldn't be so bad if I could just read it and then move on.
That's true.
Like, yep, that's something I read, and then I just keep reading.
Take some notes.
But when we
talk
take
about
notes
it for a
and
while.
we talk about it for an hour,
edit it, listen
and then
back
now
to
I have
it.
to like actually psychoanalyze what's happening around here. Then other people are going to hear what I have to say about it. It's a stressful situation.
I'm pretty sure I just heard you condoning what they're doing.
No,
that's what I heard.
Well,
that's what I heard.
No, I just thought it was going to be like I said. I massacre.
Yeah.
And that's...
Oh, so you're pro...
No.
Massacring Aes Sedai.
Oh, yeah. I am.
Actually, every once in a while.
That one is actually fine with me.
Every once in a while.
Yes. They deserve what they have coming, I think.
Yeah.
Just so arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we're going to move on.
Yep. For next episode.
One chapter.
So we are doing one chapter per episode.
From now on.
Except for chapter 30-31, because chapter 31 is like literally it's the 1-page chapter.
Okay.
So it's
cool.
Yeah, one at a time till the end, and then we'll just finish on the 2 chapters.
Sounds good to me.
Cool, and then we're done real soon. Coming to a close.
And then we're just gonna keep going.
Right. We're done with this book.
We should double check if I have 2 books for Winter's Heart.
Yeah. Yes. I think we do.
Yeah.
I know we have a big one.
Oh, we do have a giant.
We have a giant one. We have a
giant hardcovers.
Giant-sized
hardcover.
hardcover.
4 or 5 of those.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure Winter's Heart is one of them.
I could go thrifting soon.
Yeah, I can't take that.
No.
You can't transport. You need like a wheelbarrow.
And I wouldn't want you highlighting in that one.
No, I don't want to ruin the hardcover ones.
No.
Like eventually, you gotta have the nice hardcover display. But
yeah.
Okay.
Well. Okay, so before you go ahead and assume that your boss is dead when they take a 2-week vacation, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Well, that's the end of another fun episode. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett, with Essen, Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jamie Young, Cody Fouts, Megan Smiley, Jonathan Reese, Margaret, and Charlie Haz. With music by Audionautics. If you are interested in supporting us and the podcast, and also getting some really cool exclusive merch and access to early episodes and bonus episodes, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and us, like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, how to get in touch with us, things like that, for all things The Wheel Weaves, you can go to thewheelweavespodcast.com. Please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference. And tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening because this really is part of the pattern now.